Welcome to Doughboys Double. I'm Nick Wiger, along with the Spoon Man, Mike Mitchell. Mitch,
Wags.
Another Patreon app going in the Frank Bank.
Going in the Frank Bank. You don't like to date stuff.
Yeah, but I think we have to with this one, because we're recording this in the thick of Pank, our month of the films of Alexander Payne. And this is another movie episode, and it's very much more relevant now when we're recording it in May.
Jank?
And by the time... Jank?
Jerry Seinfeld, I don't know.
Yeah, we could do a series about the films
know.
of Jerry Seinfeld next year.
So
we could
B-movie
do
in this
B-movie in
twice?
this. Yeah. I guess the Seinfeld Chronicles, the longer Seinfeld pilot, we could consider like a bonus, kind of a movie adjacent.
What other? Does he have movie credits? He's got to, right?
I'm sure he's been in some movies.
Yeah.
Probably like as a young comedian was like acting in some comedy. Like,
oh, he's got that documentary about stand-up.
oh, there we go. We could do the comedian. Yeah.
Wait, is the comedian with?
There's another comedian named Orny Adams who's in it.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Orny Adams and Jerry Seinfeld.
Movie.
And Seinfeld's like the established pro, and then Orny Adams is like the up and coming guy.
That's like everyone like you almost. I should rewatch that because like everyone. Orny Adams is like very annoying in the movie, right?
Yeah.
And he's like a young stand-up, and he still does stand-up, doesn't he?
I'm sure he's still around. I'm sure he has a career, and it's like, but it's one of those things where looking back on it, you're kind of just sort of like, maybe I'd like Orny Adams more now. Because clearly my opinion of Seinfeld is kind of nosedived.
Sure. Why is that?
Many reasons.
I was a Simpsons guy over Seinfeld, but I like Seinfeld. I think Seinfeld's a very funny show.
I love Seinfeld.
It's a funny show.
It is one of the best sitcoms ever, and it has the thick of it when it's really, really humming. When they've really figured out the format, the laugh to minute ratio is up there with any show ever.
Can I just say something? I know that you. I was accused of something. Do you know what I'm talking about? Someone, you know how when my mom said no peeking?
Yes.
Someone was like, did Mitch steal that from a Brooklyn Nine-Nine episode?
What?
Which is like, what the fuck are you even talking about? My mom said no peeking.
You stole a story about your mom?
In the same season that I was on, there was a thing of someone says no peeking in a similar way. But I just wanted to just say, our fans are great. We love them.
We love our fans.
We love our fans. But then there's that one fan who says the dumbest bullshit in the world, like I stole no peeking.
Right.
I mean, even bringing it up gives, like what is it? Not credence, is it?
Credence? Lends credence?
Lends credence to it.
Yeah.
But did I steal it? I don't know. You're going to have to find out yourselves. You have to just judge.
Wait, you're going to have to find out for yourself?
Yeah.
Launch your own investigation?
Yeah. But isn't that fucking insane?
It's really weird when someone's like,
stole
that
a story about that my mom said no peeking from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'm in the show, but I don't know if I've watched every episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
There was a girl I went to high school with who told me that...
Great show. Dan Gore, shout out.
Yeah, we love Gore. Who told me that her friend got in trouble because she posed for Playboy with her like college's like sweater.
Oh man.
And I said, isn't that from Forrest Gump? And she goes, yeah.
That's funny.
That's funny.
I mean, that is funny.
That is funny.
I feel people say no peek. I don't know.
It's the thing people say.
Look,
I totally believe, knowing you and your mom and knowing your weird relationship, I totally believe that she took a shower and said no peeking.
Now she leans into it because she knew it was a thing on the podcast.
Yeah, she loves it.
But anyways, we got some dipshits too, and I'm mad. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
The Celtics game is about to start. You were off getting some bullshit. What do you got over there?
I got a tea.
And what is in the paper towels?
I got a fucking apple. Why you get coming in hot at me? We're having a nice time. I was on your side. I was attacking the fucking dipshit commenter who thought you were making up a story about how you wanted to jack off to your mom. You stole that from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I guess that is, if you break it down, that is what it's no peeking implies.
Yeah.
That I want to peek.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Jerry Seinfeld.
We're gonna figure out how to get the game on. That's what we're gonna do.
Jerry Seinfeld, his first directing credit in a film is Unfrosted. This is his feature film debut. His other directing credits are a Colin Quinn TV special, of course, comedians in cars getting coffee. I mean, you can tell his directorial eye is behind that. Another Colin Quinn special, and then a segment for the Concert for New York City.
He's got the Quinn-verse down.
He's locked in the Quinn-verse.
I like Colin Quinn. Funny man.
I like Colin Quinn. As far as other stuff he's done with movies, I mean, I'm looking through his acting credits. Okay, he had the TV show. This is all TV though. I don't know if he was ever in a movie. Oh, he's in that movie Eddie, the Whoopi Goldberg movie.
Oh, right. Okay.
So he's in that. And then I think that might be it as far as his theatrical acting credits beyond something that he's worked on, like B-movie or this movie, beyond something that he was behind the scenes of.
We're talking about Unfrosted today.
We're talking about the movie Unfrosted. This is a...
Can I say, I want to watch the Celtics. I don't want to be here. And I don't want to talk about Unfrosted.
We should also say, so we're doing this episode with no guest. We don't have a guest because no one wanted to do this. So we're doing an Unfrosted episode, and people weren't down generally.
We have friends who are in the movie.
Yeah, we do know people who are in the movie, which is another level of awkwardness.
We know like 5 people in the movie.
I think we know more than 5. I counted 4 people who have been Doughboys guests. So
great.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a minefield. But yes, I brought up that we were recording this in May, and it just kind of felt like a thing that we had to do. Like, I remember when I texted you about it, I was like, I think we fucking got to do an episode about this, don't we?
And I don't know, first of all, we want to do 80 for Brady, and a month later it was too late. How many months after Unfrosted is this coming out?
So it won't be out too much longer after Unfrosted. It'll be a little bit dated. But it'll still be
July?
It's going to be July. It'll be out in June. I'm pretty sure this will be out in June. We could bump it up.
May.
We can bump it up. It'll be fine.
Oh, yes, we must bump the Unfrosted episode
No, we don't
up.
have to fucking do it, all right? You can just stop it right now. It'll be out in June.
We could taste mayo. We could have tasted mayo. We could watch 80 for Brady.
Well, let's do 80 for Brady. Fine.
You want to taste mayo?
We could. You would like that?
I taste mayo, sure.
We've never abandoned the concept of an episode mid-episode.
Should we just go raid the Headgum fridge? Or?
We're going to talk Unfrosted. We've got stuff to talk about. I did want to talk about...
Go ahead.
I did want to ask about Pop-Tarts generally, because this is the Pop-Tart movie, purportedly.
Who's been on Doughboys? Kyle Mooney, Beck Bennett. Who else?
Drew Tarver, of course.
Oh, Drew. Yes, of course.
So 2 of the 3, Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
Yeah.
And
Andy Daly. And Andy Daly.
Yeah.
So many people.
And then a bunch of other people we know. Or have worked with. I worked with Dean Norris. He was lovely. He's in this movie. He's playing Khrushchev.
That's right.
Yeah.
We got Sarah Cooper on.
Yeah.
We got Seinfeld himself on.
Got to get Seinfeld on. Sarah Cooper's in a lot of this movie.
She is. Sarah Cooper is for sure in a lot of the movie.
Okay, here's my question about Pop-Tarts.
That's about all I'm going to say about Unfrosted.
Here's my question about Pop-Tarts. Did we ever do a Pop-Tart double? Because yes. In my memory, we did a Pop-Tart double. I can find no evidence that we actually did a full Patreon episode about Pop-Tarts.
I think we did. I have Pop-Tarts on my shelf still.
I remember eating a bunch of fucking Pop-Tarts.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was Amelia. It was the snack pack.
That's what it was for. It was for the
That's the
snack
snack
pack.
pack.
The Spotify snack pack. The defunct Spotify live series.
We did an unfrosted
We did an
snack
unfrosted
pack.
snack. Well, it wasn't an unfrosted snack pack. It was a...
Yeah, we frosted them.
We frosted them.
We're tired.
We're doing great.
I'm going to Toronto. Can I say that yet? I don't even know.
You can say whatever
Just
you want.
bleep it out. Bleep it. Emma hates the bleeps. The bleeps are annoying to do.
The bleeps take, I should say, like 2 hours to make, but like it's literally 2 seconds.
I don't think you have to bleep it. You can if you want to.
I don't know when I can say I'm going to Toronto.
Why can't you say you're?
I think I saw something
you
online.
have a
I'm going
job.
to Toronto.
You have a job.
I'm going to Toronto.
That is going to have you be out of the country for a bit, and so we're recording a bunch of episodes in sequence. We're Frank banking like mad. Frank Bank's getting full.
The Frank Bank is full. He's gonna have to unload soon.
Oh, so many Franks. I'm fully banked.
I thought it was gonna be a thing where like it Spank Bank, like he has to, you know.
Oh, he's got to jack off. I was thinking like he was
Yeah.
full because they're Franks.
Well, and it was let me be. It was Kevin Spacey.
I thought it was maybe kind of like that kind of character.
Is he ever coming back? He should have been in Unfrosted.
Spacey should be back. He should have been back.
He should have been back. He
He
should
should have
be
been like Lyndon Johnson in Unfrosted. He might as well have been. Yes,
Seinfeld's like anti cancel culture, right?
he says he is, but I
So
don't know. But
so hey, Seinfeld, if you're anti cancel culture, put Spacey.
put
in the
Spacey
movie.
in the movie. Kind of hypocritical. You didn't put Spacey
Why
in the
isn't
movie.
he in
You're
there?
anti-cancel culture.
Why wasn't he in there?
Stick to your guns. Why wasn't he in there? Where was Spacey?
We want Spacey in it.
Yeah.
Give us the long
Give us
cut.
Spacey. We want Spacey. Movie's unfrosted, like it's uncut, like it's uncensored.
Is that
Where's
what it's
Spacey?
supposed to mean?
I think it's a pun on that. I mean, it's such a fucking lazy title. Everything about this movie is so fucking lazy is the thing. It's just so phoned in. It's the most half-assed thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's dog shit. And I can say, I'm saying this, Mitch, you and I would both have worked on this movie. If they'd been like, hey, Mitch, we want you to
I'm
play...
surprised you didn't fucking write this.
We want you to play the keyboard elf. Exactly. Like,
Would have been the best thing you've ever been a part of.
we want you to play like a Keebler elf or whatever, and they were going to
I'm
pay
in.
you. You would have done it. And
In a
if
second.
they'd gone
I'd be
to
the
me,
least famous person in the movie.
if they'd gone to me and been like, "Hey, Wiger, we're getting a bunch of writers to do punch up on this thing. Can you do a pass on this script?" Like I've worked on fucking shitty comedies that suck, and like I've worked on movies like this, so like I would have done it. No shame against anyone who involved who took this because hey, it's an opportunity to work with something of a comedy legend. It's an opportunity to be on Netflix, which everyone's going to be able to see, and you're getting paid to do your job. Like if you did that and you took the check, totally fine. The movie you're ultimately a part of, you probably know is not very good. Like you and I have both worked on stuff where at the end of the day we're like, hey, you know what? That one I didn't have much control over it, and it ultimately ended up being pretty bad.
I'm gonna look at my IMDb because I don't know if I agree with you. Actually,
all bangers. That's Mitch's IMDb all the way down.
Let's see here. IMDb. Mike Mitchell. Mike and Molly has come up.
Did you bring up the director of Kung Fu Panda 4?
Honestly, yes. That is. Oh wait, hold on. I got Mike Mitchell and then in parentheses XXIX. It's got my t-shirt size. All right, so the first thing that comes up is not great.
Yeah.
Doughboys.
Yeah. Well,
Then after that, the Doughboys double.
Okay.
Hidden America with Jonah Ray.
Okay.
Spoonman's Tribute to the Burger Boy.
That's on IMDb.
That's on IMDb. You know, I have upcoming writer UCB Comedy Originals. What the fuck? That definitely doesn't exist anymore. The UCB show. Announcement from the Birthday Boys. The Birthday Boys. What is this? Why are none of my credits in here? What the fuck is this?
Because it's fucking a janky, shitty site.
Oh, this is writer. That's why. Okay.
You have a writer credit on Doughboys?
Yeah.
Someone got to update that.
Okay, Fear of Flying, Killing It, Twisted Metal, pretty good so far. Heightened, Digman, pretty good. I haven't looked at the old IMDb in a while.
Yeah.
Do you remember there used to be message boards on IMDb?
I know there are comments. I don't remember specifically message boards.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You think I've been... Come on. All this stuff is great.
The point is, it's like it's a delicate thing to talk about when you know somebody involved, and especially if you're going to be negative about it. But I think people, our listeners, I will give the benefit of the doubt to understand the distinction we're making here. That if we're being critical about this movie, we're not necessarily being critical about any individual who's a part of it, who doesn't maybe have can't really have much control over this ultimately.
I told you that there was going to be a specific minute where I ordered an Uber during this episode, which I don't know what it should be. It should be 50 minutes, 54 minutes.
I mean, how much lead time do you want to give that?
Then
bad
also,
boy?
you guys said you could give me a ride home. I could get a ride home with one of you.
Yeah, up to you. I mean, all three of us offered. If you'd rather go out of pocket for an Uber.
Oh, I'm putting on the Doughboys time
Well,
for sure.
Still your money and my money as well.
All right.
My money.
So we watched Unfrosted.
So we did Pop-Tart on the snack pack. What is your experience with Pop-Tarts, like in general as the food?
Can I be real with you for a second? I'm a toaster strudel man.
Wow, interesting. It's interesting because this movie has a rivalry between another product, and
they
it's
don't
not
bring up toaster
strudel.
strudels.
And I'm just like what? And then it was just like, oh wait, Seinfeld is 70 years old, and so he maybe he doesn't even know what toaster strudel is because that's a new thing. When that would have been a natural thing.
What's that?
Exactly. No, his brain is locked in time for his childhood 50 plus years ago. So
a pretty good Seinfeld impression.
That was great. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I also
What's going on these campuses? These kids are out of control. You can't speak your mind anymore.
And also, you don't camp there.
You don't stop camping there.
You don't camp there. And also,
it's called a campground, not a campus. Not a campground. It's a difference.
I go to a campus. I don't see any tents. There's no
I don't see any tents there. What's
Except
going on?
with these protesters. Get them out of there.
Get them out of here. And the worst part about going to college, you're dropping off your girlfriend, and you got to deal with all these protesters. She's going to enroll in the fall. You just want to let her see the campus.
You got to fill out the admissions form.
You fill out the admissions form. You're her legal guardian now, so she's your responsibility.
It's true.
It's true. He was right. He was right about some things.
He was right about some stuff.
My experience with Pop-Tarts, I was not a toaster strudel family.
I want to get in one of his cars and have coffee.
Would be fun.
And now you're just fucking blowing my chance. I'm never going to get into his car.
You'll get into one of those. You don't want to get in Seinfeld's car. You want to get in Leno's car.
I do want to get in Leno's
That'd be way more
car.
fun. You should go Leno.
One of those things.
Going down to fucking Leno's garage, an old-timey fire truck. That'd be way more fun.
Check out this one. You forgot he caught on fire.
I didn't forget.
I chill. Oh, we love you, Jay.
We love you, Jay. There was a classic car show in Culver
City. Is Jay
City.
more likable than Jerry?
I think easily.
Wow.
100%, especially at this stage in their careers.
The Conan stuff, obviously not good. It's just
that's not great. I mean, look, I think if your name is a show, you are going to be a narcissist. Yes. That's just the way it is. You're Jay Leno. Your name is the show. You're Seinfeld. Well, our name's not the show.
I don't know. We haven't changed legally to the Doughboys yet. Though it would be pretty cool, like the Fat Boys or something.
Yeah, maybe we will.
I don't know if the Fat Boys were legally the Fat Boys either.
I think they were. No, they were.
They maybe were.
Yeah.
They
go through TSA. It's like, Mr. Fat Boy.
I think that, yes, you're right, that you got to be a little bit
You have
crazy.
to be a little bit. So that there's definitely some self-obsession.
Jack would always say that to me where when I would know I was annoying him or something.
Yeah.
It's funny. He's like, yeah, you're like an actor guy and you're like crazy. Like he would just say that. You're like,
sure.
Oh, okay. I guess you're kind of right, but I never thought of myself that way.
Right.
You know? Everyone in this industry is crazy to an extent.
I'm pretty normal. So my experience with Pop-Tarts is, I got to finish this thought up. So I went to a classic car show in Culver City. I was just going down there, I was just walking down to get myself a bagel, and there's a classic car show going on. I was like, I gotta take this thing in, and I was walking around it, and it is really cool. I'm not a car guy.
Yeah.
I will say, ironically, because there were all these classic cars parked on Culver Boulevard, it turned this busy thoroughfare into a walkable community, and it was just this is just much nicer that you can just walk around it as opposed to cars zipping by, but. It is really cool to see these old death machines that have these all this Mad Max shit, all these Hot Wheels cars at an actual person scale. It's really cool. And Ecto 1 was there.
Wow, hey, Ecto 1.
The Breaking Bad RV was there. The original what was the other one?
Ecto 1. Finn Wolfhard has sat in that bad boy.
It was the original picture car from Ghostbusters. Wow. It was like that Ecto one, and then the RV from Breaking Bad was also there. So it didn't have the thing where
they have an ejection seat where they like they fight the ghosts from the seat that goes outside the car.
Yeah, I don't know if that was built into this one.
Yeah.
And then they also had the original Adam West Batmobile.
That's cool.
So they had some cool shit, but then they also had just like a bunch of old like Chevys and Fords and Oldsmobiles.
I got a question about the Batmobile. Had it lost its wheel?
It did, unfortunately, and the Joker.
You know what that means?
Yeah, he got away.
The Joker got away.
It wasn't laid an egg for you then.
Oh, the Joker laid an egg?
Yeah. Did either of you have Joker laid an egg?
I had Joker got away.
Joker got away.
We did Joker laid an egg.
You said Joker.
I think I've heard both versions. What type of egg is he laying? Is that a fart joke, or is he laying like a little?
I think it makes more sense with laid an egg because I think it's a fart joke. Jingle bells, Batman smells. Robin laid an egg.
Oh wait, that's it.
Like a rotten egg, like a stinky fart.
I'm thinking of a different one. Was it Joker got away or Joker took ballet?
Oh wait. Joker took
Jingle
ballet.
bells,
Joker
Batman
took ballet.
smells, Robin laid an egg.
So it's always Robin laid an egg.
Yeah.
Batmobile lost its wheel and the Joker got away.
I heard Joker did ballet.
You had ballet, yeah. So that's a regional. Some people have Joker took ballet.
Joker
I've heard the ballet thing. Not as good.
Joker got away definitely makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the Joker, the Joker would do ballet. It's not that crazy. Like
it's not that crazy.
Yeah, he would be a plot line.
Yeah. Whatever, he'd do that.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense.
It's exactly the kind of thing he would do.
It makes sense.
He's a showman. The Joker would do ballet. So
the
it's not
Joker
even like
getting away makes more sense.
It makes more sense because it wouldn't be in like a parody song that the Joker took ballet because it's just a normal thing.
It's a thing he would do.
It's a normal thing. It's a thing he would do.
I just remember singing those carols to like 80 and 90-year-old people in nursing homes.
Yeah.
And like us like singing those alt versions and like these people just being like sitting there and being like, this sucks. Like this is it. You know what I mean? Sorry to be depressing.
No, I get it. Speaking of entertainment for people in nursing homes, the movie Unfrosted. I was thinking that as I was watching Unfrosted. It's just like, because I'm like, who is this fucking movie for? And then you're just like, Jerry Seinfeld is 70 years old.
Unfrosted is after the lead. Never mind. Unfrosted is my shower after the cleaning ladies come. But I felt bad because it made it sound like they were like cleaning up my cum.
Yes, yeah.
Which is not real, but I will. Now that I've explained it, I'm okay.
You're fine. You're fine. Anyway, I think like I think Mitch stole the thing about jacking off in the shower drain from an episode of Everybody Loves Raymond.
No peeking? You think I stole? What the fuck is wrong with you weirdos? Oh, one weirdo. It's one weirdo. Everyone was like, you're a weirdo.
It's one weirdo. So, but I was thinking of this about Unfrosted. Like, who is this for? And I think, first off, I think it is because it's Seinfeld and Jim Gaffigan. It's a two-hander, and they have an ongoing, like, stand-up tour where they're playing arenas, the two of them. I think it's partly an ad for these two guys, just to kind of be out there as like, hey, here's Seinfeld and Gaffigan together. They have this stand-up show. Come see this tour. I think there's a little bit of calculation there. But I also think that
Gaffigan getting older, or was he made up in this movie? I couldn't tell.
I think he was made up to look a little bit older, maybe. Okay. But I don't know.
Insulting question to ask.
I don't think
I look like shit, Jim. So
no, they're not giving like him a flattering look in this. They're trying to make him like look a little slovenly and older.
My mom's been very confusing with Jim Gaffigan. She'd be like, you know who I don't like is that Jim Gaffigan. And then other times she's like, I heard Jim Gaffigan does like some sort of, is he on like some...
He has a Sirius XM channel.
But I think he's on like some sort of weird news channel show too. Like he's on like Good Morning America or something.
Oh, I wouldn't be shocked if he's like a regular on that sort of thing.
Yeah.
People love him. People love his stand-up.
I like Gaffigan.
I think he's a good stand-up. And I've heard he's a lovely man to interact with. But I always
liked him.
I will say that this is I think this movie partly exists to do that, to advertise this tour. But I think it's also just like targeted at older people. And like it's here's a big nostalgia hit from your childhood, which again, if you grew up in the 50s and 60s, meaning you are now like a boomer, potentially living in a retirement community, you are someone who is over 70 years old, like the star and director of this movie, then you are like this movie to you is like a squeeze bottle of applesauce. You know what I mean? It's like that level of like comfort, that level of entertainment. And I think these people are like, like Pesci and the Irishman being like, oh, they got the good grape juice today. It's like that sort of this level of movie. That's what it is, and I think that's who it's for.
Such a depressing comparison.
Another great Netflix original. Boy, they are pumping them out.
I like the
Irishman. No,
Irishman and versus Unfrosted versus the Irishman.
The joke I was making was suggesting they were equivalent. Obviously not. The thing
Sus and I got into a bit of a back and forth because I said I'm watching the roast of Tom Brady, and he says tuning in now. It sucks, and I said some funny jokes, and then he said insane. That's what he said, and then I said Jeff Ross is back. I was like, what do you mean insane? And he said the whole thing sucks. There were jokes, and then he says after this, I kind of like Unfrosted. Susser
likes Unfrosted?
Susser likes Unfrosted.
That's the first person I've heard who likes this movie. He liked it?
He liked it. Call him up. Call up the fucker.
I'm not going to call him up. Because he said today, we saw him today, he said like he didn't like it.
He did?
Yeah, was he just playing to the room because everyone else was saying it sucked?
No, he was not.
Here's my memory of Pop-Tarts. My first experience with them was in Boy Scouts, and I mostly ate them cold.
Yes.
Mitch is calling
Hi,
Susser.
I'm Susser. Leave your name and number, and I'll give you a call back.
Ooh, he sent you to voicemail.
Sussy sent us a voicemail. Emma pointed that out. Thank you, Emma. We're here in Doughboys studio. We're talking about Unfrosted, and we just want to discuss your comment of, I like Unfrosted. We just like to get into that. Give us a call back. We'll put you on. Thanks, bud.
So I had these in Boy Scouts at campouts, and they were like a treat because they were something that was sugary, but I mostly ate them cold, so it was a while before I actually had them in a toaster at home. I rarely encountered unfrosted Pop-Tarts. For me, the default was frosted.
Do they even still sell them unfrosted? I was wondering.
I'm not sure.
I feel like they all have frosting on them.
I feel like they all have the frosting, yeah.
Waiting for the movie to get to the point where they put the frosting on them.
Right.
And then they never did it.
Well, again, that probably happened after he, like, Jerry Seinfeld, like, became an adult, and so it's not part of his childhood, so it's not what this movie is.
Can I point out something else that happened in this section?
But you're right. It should be in there. He sent that to me, too, yeah. Wait, was that our
Can we
thread?
say it? It's so funny.
Susser
said, has anyone else heard that Jennifer Aniston and Obama are fucking?
Yeah, he said this multiple times. I heard this.
No,
too.
he said that to the Doughboys thread too, yeah.
Oh, man.
Is that just a thing he's starting?
Maybe so. I don't know where he's getting it. We might have to delete this whole thing. Who knows? Maybe Sus has some info.
Well, what source are we compromising by saying this absolutely insane unfounded rumor?
Yes. This is what I wrote. I said, this is when these guys were being nice to the movie. I said, I just think the idea of it being invented in the 60s isn't really that funny. Like the 60s Mad Men version of it, like the idea of this thing of like Pop-Tarts is like they made trash forever. It doesn't, you know what I mean? Like
the time to make,
I think that for him that was like such a thing of like imagine like Mad Men coming up with Pop-Tarts. That I think this was like a genesis of this idea.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, like, and also especially in that, speaking to the Mad Men extended Mad Men cameo.
Sure, yes, and it's in the movie, but I'm like that idea isn't interesting.
It's not interesting.
I don't think it is.
It's
right?
not, and also Pop-Tarts are no longer.
This is not a criticism of the movie, which I won't have any thoughts on. But like the idea of the Pop-Tarts being invented in the 60s is not that interesting.
No, it's like if it was interesting, the time to make this movie was like the 90s.
Yes.
You know, I mean, like this was now it's like Pop-Tarts in and of themselves. Like people have nostalgia for the idea maybe of Pop-Tarts. No one's eating Pop-Tarts regularly anymore. It's not like a common breakfast food.
It is funny when they showed like the competitor Pop-Tarts. I was like, I wonder if those were good. Those like are
right.
Those are maybe better than Pop-Tarts.
I think I looked this up. They still make them, but they're called something else. They're called Toast-'em Squares or Toast-'em Pop-Ups.
Toast-'em Pop-Ups
is the
Shit, we gotta
rebranded
sign
Country
the
Squares.
We got to try the rebrand of Country Squares.
Did you like Pop? I mean, like, what were your favorite Pop-Tarts? I know you're a Toaster Strudel family, but were there any flavors that you remember liking? Because I was a frosted cinnamon guy.
Let me correct you there.
Yeah.
I definitely started with Pop-Tarts.
Okay. You said earlier you were a Toaster Strudel fan.
I mean, I'm more of a Toaster Strudel guy for sure. I mean, come on. If a Toaster Strudel versus a Pop-Tart,
sure,
flaky, juicier,
but not shelf stable, which is
they're in the freezer.
Yeah,
who cares? Who cares about shelf stable, right?
I'm just saying, like, that's the advantage that Pop-Tarts have.
I would do the strawberry and then also the cinnamon ones. I did like the cinnamon ones, and I remember in middle school having like the cinnamon ones before going to school. Not a healthy breakfast
not at
all.
all.
But yeah, the cinnamon ones and the strawberry ones, and I don't know if there was another one that I had that I liked. Maybe like, but once you get into like the marshmallow or chocolate, it's like you're having candy.
Yes.
I mean, you are anyways.
Well, that's a lot of the flavors now. They're things like Orange Crush, and when we did those on the Spotify Live, we were having those sorts of like more, birthday cake flavor ones that were just directly desserts. They're not even attempting to be a nutritious breakfast anymore.
Yeah, not like these bad boys.
So we have these. And
Thanks to Emma,
you got these in the wild.
I did get these in the wild. This was not a planned thing.
let me for our audio listeners, let me describe what we are holding here. We have Unfrosted branded Pop-Tarts.
Actually,
it says
take a pic of those real quick.
Looks what just popped
shit.
up from Netflix. That's okay. I can take a pic with mine. Of mine right here. This is like a single sleeve. What's crazy about this is it's not even a full order of 2 Pop-Tarts.
No.
This is just a single
and
Pop-Tart.
they only gave me one.
Pop-Tart.
I had to send someone else over to get the second one and then take it from them.
A single
and you had
Pop-Tart
to win.
in
You had to
single-use
win
plastic.
trivia to get it.
It was so Netflix just did Netflix is a Joke Fest all over LA. They completely took over every theater in LA. And I was at Outside Joke at the Palladium. And
We were just shocked to see you. I mean, we're old curmudgeonly fucks, but for you to be at like a comedy festival, I was like, that seems like a true nightmare.
Fair, it was because a friend of mine who I used to work with through ATC had free tickets, a friend of ours. So
Fair.
It was, I didn't pay to go. I was not going to pay to go. But I did go for free, and that was fun. And they had a little unfrosted trailer that looked like a big toaster, and you could tell them a joke to get a Pop-Tart. I couldn't tell them a joke. They told me to name someone in the movie, and then they didn't know who I named. So it was awkward, but I got a Pop-Tart.
This is probably bad. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you for doing it. Thank you for listening to these.
They don't even look filled. They look super flat.
No, these look like shit.
These look like shit, and I took a little bite of it, and it does taste like shit.
This was also a beef I had with everybody in the movie who took a bite of a Pop-Tart. They just bit the little corner of the Pop-Tart, which is like notoriously the worst bite of a Pop-Tart. Because there's never any filling in the edges. You gotta like get into the middle.
Bad directing. Direct them to take a better bite.
That's my
Recognize what you're making.
I always I remember as a kid when I ate Pop-Tarts, a lot of times I would like crack the edges off because they were just like boring and I didn't want them and I just wanted the like filling part.
Yeah.
You're talking Trat Pops?
Trap Pops.
Trap Pops, yeah.
You saw the movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie. I watched this fucking thing. This is
This is probably bad career advice, but
yeah.
Netflix fucking sucks
Netflix
shit.
sucks. Well, this is what I'm going to
Also,
say.
fuck Netflix. They are against that's not true. They pay creators decently, but they are against actors and writers. They are bad. A bad company.
Do you realize what you've made here? You've made a little Pop-Tart coffin. The way you've bitten around it.
Oh my God.
What?
Show it to the camera. You took bites that made it into a Pop-Tart coffin.
I wish that I could make it bigger and put myself in it.
Sorry, I interrupted your thought about your rant about Netflix. They're a bad company.
They're a bad company.
They're shitty towards creative people. Like yes, they will give showrunners a lot of money, but that will be the one that them and like stars they'll pay. The frontline
actors
workers
and
and
writers,
crew
they can fuck off.
get paid like shit.
Look,
Here's the
I love
Yeah,
I
go
love, and I had a great time doing it. I think it's a great show.
Yeah, but you certainly had your frustrations with the network there, and you were not paid fairly.
On anything I've done on Netflix,
Yeah.
I shouldn't single out that show.
Yeah,
But I think that it's a bad company.
yeah.
And there isn't. It just is turning into TV too. I mean, cable TV too.
Yeah.
It's the same. There's going to be commercials on it.
Well, and also things like they do the aforementioned Tom Brady roast, was like such a huge win for them. And it's one of those things where it's just like the worst company in the world, the worst company in media, the patient zero for these recent Hollywood work stoppages just continues to thrive because our world is just so fucking awful.
Which is just also so funny. It's like one of our big hits, a thing that they used to do on another channel.
Exactly. We just took this idea and we put celebrities in it.
Yeah, we're doing it now here.
But on that note, since you brought this up, Jerry Seinfeld, as far as I know, a literal billionaire. I mean, he's a guy who's made hundreds of millions of dollars off of Seinfeld syndication. An extraordinarily rich person. Does not need to be doing this. And there's an element of his laziness that I admire because I love being lazy. I hate working. Work sucks. If I had Seinfeld money, I would be as lazy as possible. But that also leads me to he chose to make this.
Yes.
Like, he didn't have to make this. This wasn't the sort of thing. It's just like, fuck, I got to try to sell a movie to stay afloat financially. This is a thing he is choosing to like push his chips in. He's cashing in, some of the clout and the goodwill that he has banked to get something like this made and to get all of his friends and a bunch of other prominent comedians to be in it. And he's choosing to make like this. And the Netflix of it all, he's partnering with Netflix.
I'm actively texting Emma on stuff to cut from this episode already.
He's partnered with Netflix, and a big plot line in this movie in the third act is comparing a actors striking. He's making this in 2024 in the wake of the actors strikes and the wake of the WGA strike.
Yes.
Is performers striking and comparing them to January 6th protesters.
It's true.
Saying that there's equivalence between workers going on strike because they feel like they are unpaid, they're not paid fairly, and insurrectionists. And it's this sort of like empty-headed, both sides is like rich, like centrist liberal sort of thinking that is so like. That's the sort of thing that,
it's funny that he just
should
is
be
like
attacked
he
for.
is like an executive.
Exactly, and he just is on their side now, and he just is on the same side as these companies that we all should be unified against. Yeah, it's just like that's the sort of thing. I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
Do you think
Why did you make this?
Do you think that's the broken brain thing of him being like, well, you got to make the best show in the world, and then you know what I mean. Like, none of you have made the best show ever
I think that's
created.
100% there. There's a little bit of solipsism, of like, there's a little bit of narcissism there. Again, his name is the show, so you have to be a narcissist.
Solipsism, I like that word. What does it mean?
It means you're seeing everything from just your perspective. It's like this is like It's kind of main character of reality thing. It's akin to narcissism.
I never do that. Yeah.
But like, it speaks to. People who are the people who are on top always tend to think that like there's this self-mythologizing of like I'm the reason I'm here, like I like this is solely due to my own talent and my own. What are you doing? You watching the Celtics game? Put it up on the big screen.
Let's put it up on the big screen.
Can I use your phone to screen share?
Yeah, yes you can.
There's a.
Here, I can do it. What it would do? Let's see here.
All right, we got the big screen in the studio for. So I don't know how.
Am I coming in here? I'm joining the Wi-Fi.
I don't know how visible this is for our video listeners.
They could see behind.
Okay, got it. I think there's an element of like you're super successful, yes, Mitch, to your point, and you think like, hey, I deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And that sometimes that's an attitude where someone is like, hey, look, I was very lucky. I ended up in the right place at the right time. And yes, maybe I'm talented, but there are a lot of other people who are talented who didn't have the same opportunities for any number of reasons, some within and some
on TV.
Not in their control.
No, it's on both.
I got it. Don't worry, we're good.
But they're two different codes.
I got it. We're good. This one will go away.
The AirPlay passcode for our TV behind us has, I guess,
some people probably
public.
don't even know that's a TV.
Yeah, people think this is like just an image, but no, this is a TV behind us. It says Doughboys Double.
All right, so there's a State Farm commercial now, but we are now live, Wags. We got the game on. Look at how much better this is. Why couldn't we do like all the other flagrant ones and stuff? This is so much better.
You'd rather do a basketball podcast?
For this episode, anytime a game is on that we like, we can just turn it into that.
Well, I mean,
yes, it can come out in 2 months.
They don't know which game this is. Is this the NBA Finals, perhaps? Or is this,
Or is this game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals?
Who knows?
Who knows?
That's a specific guess. So who knows?
Could be correct.
It's actually game 5.
The other thing I will say
Isn't
is,
it?
I think it's game 4. Is
it's
it 2-1?
game 4. No, it is game 4.
Yeah, I think the Cavs lost game 3 at home. The other thing I'll say about this movie, there's this modern sort of thing of there is the product
Hey, can I just
nostalgia
quickly say-
movie. Yeah.
Just to give credit to cable, isn't TV good?
I like TV. TV's
Fuck
good.
Netflix. Look at this. This is
TV's
fun. Look,
better.
commercials. This
Yeah,
is fun.
This is fun. We like this.
Fucking Netflix. You can turn it on. How warm is this?
I know.
You turn on the TV. There's something happening. You flip around. You find something you want to watch. Netflix. What should we watch? I don't know. Should we watch some fucking stupid original Netflix series?
Oh,
no, it sucks.
I don't fucking know what to watch. Here, look, we're watching an Axe body spray commercial
Yeah,
with Shaq's son. How fun is that?
it rules.
Yeah, that's no. I
Axe
definitely,
1, hater 0. That's how the commercial
That's
went.
what I'm talking. Now we got a preview for a TNT original. How fun is that?
TV. I agree
TV's
with
great.
you. TV is great.
I love
Bring
TV.
back
I'm pro TV.
I'm a cord cutter. Fuck off, you fucking dorks.
Yeah, Netflix sucks.
I actually don't have cable. Well, you do. You got it with Netflix and all the other things, and now it's cable too.
It's just a worse version of cable.
Yes,
it's a
you
less
got-
convenient
congrats.
version of cable.
You got a worse
have to go
version of
through
cable,
different
and you
apps.
ruined the entertainment industry.
You have
I
to go through
applaud
different
you,
apps
you
with
fucking
different
nerd.
UI, different interfaces to navigate to try to find what you want to watch.
Yeah.
Instead of one unified interface where you can scroll through a guide and find whatever you're looking for.
And while we're at it, we ruined radio. We did. It's our
We did.
fault.
Radio's bad now.
Radio's bad now.
Or at least, and you know what? Radio is actually good. You should be listening
You
to radio.
should. I do. I listen to the radio. I
like
don't listen to
listening to radio.
podcasts.
You get you turn on the radio, you get to hear a guy like, my mattress doesn't work anymore. What do I gotta get a new mattress? I'll show you where to get a new mattress. Come to the mattress store. We got new mattresses. I got a new mattress now. The mattress guys. We got mattresses.
You made that up, and I feel like it is real.
It's real.
Wait, who is the mattress guy that is on the radio? You're killing me,
Oh, you're killing me, Larry.
That's a good one. And look, Charles Barkley is here. We're having a blast.
Yeah, Charles Barkley's here. I love Shaq. Doing a FanDuel ad, a little FanDuel integration. That's the thing that's ruining sports is all the fucking gambling.
Look.
Gambling is fun, but the integration of gambling like related content to sports media has made it so unwatchable.
I think that
It's way too much. I don't ever need to see a line when I'm watching a game.
I think that they may be fucked up.
They think they fucked up.
I think that gambling shouldn't be. You know what? We maybe shouldn't give the power. I think you should maybe take it back a little bit. I don't know. Bookies, you're ruining for bookies.
We're for bookies.
Bookies are. You need a bookie.
Oh, I can't pay my bookie. Cuts your finger off. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
You become a crab man.
You become a little crab claws.
I'll tell you what. I'm not a crab man. I'm a lobster man. I like lobster over crab.
Here's what I was going to say before we went on this little bit of a tangent. There is this recent movement towards the product nostalgia movie.
Uh-huh.
And BlackBerry, Air. I'd put Wonka in this category to some degree. It's kind of that sort of thing, It's about like the product of IP, but it's also like a candy sort of thing. And it's an actual candy brand. This makes like Air and Wonka look like masterpieces, and I liked both of those movies. I liked Wonka okay.
I genuinely thought Air was
I liked
fun.
Air. I think Air's fun. I liked Wonka okay.
I get people not liking a movie that is like a product.
It feels like propaganda for Nike to some degree, so I get that. But it's also in the Jordan brand.
That was really good. BlackBerry.
Yeah, sure, but it's just like that. Like what I'm saying is this is a thing that exists now. This part of why this movie does not work is it's not even a movie. Like it's not an attempt at doing this. It's not telling the real story. Everything, as far as I can tell, at least all the major events of this are completely invented. And it has no narrative through line. It's just like a series of vignettes that are all about that all exist in the same sort of 60s pastiche.
Yeah.
And so it's not it's like basically a sketch movie, but it doesn't even call itself a sketch movie. It tries to pretend it has some sort of story driving it.
I have no real comments on the movie. I did watch it though.
Yeah.
There were a few jokes that made me laugh. There's a big weird thing where they like bury a guy in a cereal bowl.
Yes.
Which is kind of crazy how they get there. I mean, look, there's Emma. I know where you're coming from. I mean, like that whole thing where they bury him in cereal is bizarre and weird, and it's like this weird world, like '60s world where there's also mascots living in it.
It's a cartoon reality.
It's a cartoon reality.
Yeah.
But also, there's this very confusing part of it where it's a cereal company, but then they also call in like the guy from Schwinn Bikes, which is very confusing. And Chef Boyardee, and the Carvel ice cream guy, and then who does Thomas Lennon play?
He plays
another person we know.
Yeah, he plays might have worked with. He plays a German like rocket scientist guy, but I can't remember what company he works for.
By the way, Thomas Lennon, there was a great moment where
very much supposed to be like a Werner von Braun kind of guy.
I was in the backstage of UCB.
Yeah.
And this is probably like 7 years ago, and Thomas Lennon was back there like putting a goofy costume on, and he looked over and he's like, "It never ends, boys." And I was like, shit. He's right.
Very funny.
I mean, it just is. I'm like, I'll do the Birthday Boys reunion in 10 years or 20 years or whatever. I mean, as long as I'm alive. But I'll be like, in some sort of fucking raccoon costume or some shit, and
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a live act of when I saw the raccoons fucking. Anyway, it's that whole side of it is very confusing. I was like, why did he? And it must be some nostalgia thing for him.
I think that's all it is. It's the same reason they have Rock and Sock'em robots on just a random coffee table, and then there's a bit where one of them punches the other's head off, which was a joke that's just in Toy Story. But it's just like he's just got these are all things he thinks.
The robot punched another robot's head off.
Yeah.
I don't even remember this.
There's like an earthquake, and then the other robot. Yeah.
I mean, is that even a joke?
It's supposed to be a joke, or it's supposed to be at least a reference. Yeah. It's supposed to be. I mean, it's played as a joke. Anyway,
any takeaways from the movie? Things you liked?
I mean, do we have to go there already?
The costumes were. I did think the costuming was cool. Like Melissa McCarthy's.
Her wardrobe was
the
cool.
Time I was having a good time with. Very colorful.
I liked her wardrobe.
Yeah.
There's a sea monkey ravioli
that turns it. Yes.
That becomes
sentient.
Sentient, yeah.
If you look up baby stingrays, they look a lot like that little.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense. Is that what's the character design was inspired by?
And Chef Boyardee wanted to eat it. Oh no, the other guy Carvel wanted to eat it.
Yeah, and then they raised it as a kid or whatever. So whatever. Here's what I was gonna say.
Oh, sorry. What the hell do you want me to talk about with the movie? I'm going over the fucking plots of it.
Here's what I was gonna say. No, I'm not saying anything against you. It's just like so this movie has no like narrative through line, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And I think there's an obvious thing that they could have done here, but it would have required Jerry to acknowledge his own mortality.
Okay.
He's 70 years old. This was a time when ageism was much more of a thing in corporate culture. We watched during Pank about Schmidt, about a guy who's 66 years old and is basically like, get out of here, Grandpa. Your life is over.
Jerry is 4 years older than him.
He could have played this as a guy who's like, give this movie some stakes and say like, you know what? I'm 1 year away from retirement. My career is like...
Schmidt's too young now.
Schmidt is like 20 years younger than Biden. It's like insane how young Schmidt is. But like there could have been some stakes to this movie if it had been like, why does Seinfeld have to why does his character Bob Cabana or whatever the fuck have to do this? Like, well, shit, I've got 1 year left till retirement. My career's almost over. I have nothing to show for it. In my 40 years that I've committed to this company, I have no legacy. I got to have something before I'm out the door. They could have just picked something like that, and then all of a sudden now it feels like, well, okay, I at least have something at stake here. There's something that I'm rooting for over the course of this movie. As such, it just ends up being like, again, like I was saying, just a bunch of detached little set pieces. I
am very much watching this game, by the way, but it is this funny thing of like Seinfeld tells this story to a little boy who seems not interested in
completely unnecessary framing device.
And then also like it just kind of it's the realistic thing of like, oh yeah, we're not that interested in this either.
Yes.
And he's like telling a kid who doesn't care, and then us, the viewers, don't really care either.
Yeah.
Who the Cavs with a couple 3-pointers, Wags don't like it.
Sam Merrill heating up from the corner. Tatum with the ball, taking it across half court.
This is good. This is good. Oh, fuck.
Feed froze for a second. Somebody scored.
Back. We're back in.
This is a riveting podcast.
26-21. Celtics on top.
Commentary on a game that happened 2
Darius
months ago.
Garland to the hole.
Oh, he gets denied.
Now
Tatum
Drew
to Drew Holiday.
going the other
Holiday's
way.
got it over to Pritchard. He tips up for a three, and it's in.
29-21. Boston over the Cavs. 2:55 left in the first
Do you
here
know
on
what I just
TNT
figured out?
Sports.
This is exhausting for these guys to do this.
It's amazing. What like Kevin Harlan does, what Mike Breen does, it's incredible.
Oh, wow. The Cavs are really hitting threes. It's kind of terrifying. Who's that doofus?
Struce.
Oh, I hate Struce.
Struce is loose.
With his fucking beard going.
Jacking it up.
Jacking it off. You know he is.
Dude, all these guys are jacking off.
Name me one NBA player who's not jacking
I think
it.
you're going onto the NBA court without fucking jacking off in the locker room ahead of time.
Yeah,
all as a team.
Yeah.
They're all jacking off.
You want to run it? You want to run up and down the court with a boner?
No.
You're gonna get this.
You're
gonna get that stuff out. All right, Wags, we're getting way too distracted because you also like basketball.
Mobley picking up the trash.
Do I need to turn
good.
the TV off?
No, you do not.
Tatum with the board.
Tatum's coming down. There's a foul on.
We have an offensive foul. It's going back the other way. Luke Cornett with an illegal screen. You know they could call that on most plays, but they just happened to call it on that one. And Joe Mazzulla is beside himself.
Oh, yeah, he certainly is. I wish that
2 minutes left in the first.
Wags, we should.
Al Horford checking in.
Oh, Jesus. This is my fault, I guess. I want to say this. Did you like the ending where everyone danced?
It made me like... So here's what happened. When the ending, when everyone dances and they're doing the... they're doing like the bloopers.
Who sings the song? Is it Dua Lipa? Is that this?
I don't know.
Ooh, that ball just got snatched from Al Horford or Drew. I couldn't see who just fucking ripped it out of his hands.
Tristan Thompson.
It's Meghan Trainor and Jimmy Fallon.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, look, this is one of my favorite doubles ever. I'm not even lying.
Here's what happened to me when I was watching that end credits.
Yeah.
Which is that everyone's dancing and they're playing bloopers, and what I went from up to that point, I was like, well, I hope people had fun making this movie, even though it sucks. And then it hits that, and I'm like, I hope no one had fun making this movie. I hope all these people were fucking miserable. I hope they were all like, we were paid like shit, fuck Netflix, Seinfeld's an asshole, he's a shitty director. I hope all of them have that feeling from this experience, because it was so...
So these are some of your friends.
I'm just saying, like, look, when friends, that's one thing. But like, I just overall, like, we're talking about like the celebrities, we're talking about like the millionaires that are in this movie. Mm-hmm. That's the sort of thing where I'm just like, I don't like... This is all so gratuitous. This is all so self-congratulatory. This ending sort of montage they're making me sit through, and the movie is so unpleasant to watch.
I don't disagree with anything you say, though. I don't have any real thoughts on the movie.
I will say we finished the movie after that scene, and Mike remarked that I let out like the largest sigh. Like I didn't even realize I did it. He was like, "I have never heard you sigh like that," and I was like, "Well, there it is."
Amelia said, "This is garbage. I'm turning it off." She was only 5 minutes in, I believe. So
let me just.
So you're gonna make our Patreon listeners say you're gonna say watch Unfrosted for Tuesday's episode. Is that where you plan on doing?
I would say you don't have to watch this movie. I would say we'll maybe put on social media.
Put it in the background while you're cleaning your house.
Yeah,
you know what I'm gonna say? Watch game. We maybe should make an announcement. Watch Game 4 of the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Yeah, we don't know how it turns out as of yet, but it looks like this one's a heat.
Yeah, there's some overlap in the first quarter that we talk about here.
Yeah. Final possession of the quarter here. Cavs with the ball.
Ooh, foul?
We have a foul. They may have had a foul to give. We'll see if we end up at the...
No, it was an offensive
Karis LeVert
foul.
ends up at the free throw line, yeah.
Jerry Seinfeld deciding to do this movie.
Yeah, well said, Mitch. A few more of my...
Do we have any... Wait, a few more of what?
A few more of my notes here.
I have a question for you after... Let's hear your notes, because I have a question for you after you're done.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. Our buddy JF from YKS said it feels like a feature-length fake Funny or Die trailer. Mm-hmm. And I was like thinking maybe that's where we are as a culture, and also this looks about that cheap. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Hugh Grant as the Tony the Tiger, pretentious actor, is modern, overplayed, unimaginative Hollywood casting. It's just like such a lazy, like, oh, Hugh Grant's played this exact same character.
It was basically
Let's
his
put him in.
Paddington character.
It's the same Paddington game. It's the same. It's the laziest fucking thing that Hollywood does. It's like, this worked in another movie. Let's do exactly that. Snap, Crackle, Pop scene is fun. That was a positive.
Our friends, yeah.
Our buddies were in that one. Let's see. Dolly zoom of the flavor hitting him just looks like the cheapest, ugliest, most digital shit.
Okay.
Maybe that this is exhausting, but maybe there's a market for a pure boomer nostalgia play. Some of this feels like bad structure. Let's see. I'd say the movie scrooches to a halt, but it's not like any of it is zipping along.
These are all notes from the short film I was in. You loved the short film. It was great.
Short film was great. Here's a note. I hate this. I just wrote that. At a certain point. They don't even here. This one really bothered me. Just from an editing standpoint, they don't even bother to match the aspect ratio with the Soviet stock footage they use.
Yeah,
it's just 4:3. They're not even pretending like it's part of the movie. Bill Burr is JFK. The mascot's going on strike feels like a billionaire making fun of unions. Let's see. Oh, I did have to take a break at the hour mark, which is true. Oh, here's one. I spilled at the 30-minute mark. And
not a surprise.
I was relieved because I got to walk away from the movie for a little bit to clean it up.
He spilled on purpose.
Every time they mention a new character, I dread the sweaty celebrity casting to follow. They're trying to make a January 6th parallel with a mascot striking such rich centrist, both sides dog shit. Deep fake Johnny Carson show.
Kyle Dunnigan did some good.
Yeah, that's what he does the impressions there.
He did the Walter Cronkite too.
Funny guy.
That was I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Overall, 3 out of 5 forks for me. I'll give it 3.5 forks.
Did you like this better or Dune better?
No comment.
I'll say
you should get our hands because you eat Pop-Tarts with your hands.
Yeah, that's true.
3 out of 5 hands for me.
No hands for me.
Wags, look.
I know what I was going to say, which is that.
Ooh, Nutrafol. I take this. It's a hair drug.
The TV is fun. You get to watch it.
It's great.
You get to watch a commercial. You're like, oh, I have that product. I'm glad I already know about it, but I'm glad other people have been informed about it.
We should get them as a sponsor. Yeah, thank you, Emma.
Your hair's looking really full.
It makes my piss smell weird.
Is that real?
It does kind of make my piss smell weird. Wags, I got home. I had flown home and was home Friday, and then Saturday I was like doing a bunch of shit. And I got home Saturday night after kind of a crazy day.
Yeah.
And I almost went and saw a movie with Sus. We were going to go see Fall Guy. And I got home and I was like, Saturday night, 10 p.m. back in the day, I would have done stuff. Sat down, watched Unfrosted.
Yeah.
Kind of bummed me out just about my state in this world and in this life to watch Unfrosted on a Saturday night at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I really have to say about it. I was bummed out about where I am.
Yeah.
Well, my big question is, will we ever see Jerry Seinfeld do something really great ever again?
No, I don't think so. I think that time is long since passed. I mean, the one thing he did, and it's a singular thing, it is the sitcom Seinfeld that you absolutely should ascribe him some responsibility for. It's one of the best sitcoms ever made. And there's really nothing else he's ever done that I've really liked at all, including his stand-up. But that in and of itself is like, hey, that could be your thing. Yeah. And again, there's a part, like, he could have just been that guy, and he could have just like dined out on that forever, and he could have just like, hey, turned up in cameos and things when when a celebrity friend wanted a favor. He didn't have to make comedians in cars getting coffee. He didn't have to make this. He didn't have to make B-movie, and he chose to make all these things. And he also is like, for a guy who's so apolitical and has never talked about anything, he also could have chosen to keep his mouth shut, and he didn't choose to do that. And that's the sort of person who should be criticized. Is, again, a billionaire, someone with a platform and with some actual power.
Interesting. No Seinfeld cameos.
No Seinfeld cameos.
I know you had your finger crossed for a Kramer.
I was hoping. Yeah.
You didn't see him. He's
Would have
at-
helped, honestly.
He's at like the milk factory.
I would have loved it.
Instead of the laugh factory.
I would have loved a. I loved a Kramer cameo at the milk factory. That would have been fun.
Creamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, no real thoughts from me.
I had a similar experience to you in the sense of on Saturday I went to the Alamo Drafthouse in Dallas and we saw
Wow.
I saw the TV Glow.
You liked it?
I loved it. One of my favorite movies of the year so far.
I love it.
It's a movie that's so distinct, from such a clear authorial voice. Has like, you know, such strong decisions, such a clear, you know, perspective and aesthetic.
Sure.
It felt like you go to like an omakase dinner, you know, like a tasting menu where the chef is choosing every dish for you, and like you're making decisions that I would not expect. Like I probably would not have normally gotten these trout eggs, but you know what? This ended up being good. Hey, these beef cheeks. That is not a sort of decision I would ever make for myself. This ended up being great and really memorable. It felt like that sort of experience of like, oh wow, this is someone like kind of taking me through their journey, lending me their perspective. And I have this 15-course meal that is memorable for all the unexpected things that it does. The next morning, I got up and the first thing I did was I watched Unfrosted. So I'm sitting there with my cup of coffee, which I ended up spilling, and I'm watching Unfrosted. And that felt like a 15-course meal of just Pop-Tarts. Like, you have the first one, and you're like, oh, this is kind of fun. And you have the second one, and you're like, okay. You have the third one, you're like, I'm kind of getting sick of this. By the fifth one, you're like, do I even like Pop-Tarts? And by the 15th one, you're like, I fucking hate Pop-Tarts. Like, everything's on the exact same fucking level. It's just sugar all the way through, and it's completely substanceless.
And here's my thought. I don't think I ever really liked Pop-Tarts anyways.
Yeah, maybe Pop-Tarts suck.
Yeah. Yep. Toaster strudels.
Boston pulling away 46-37 with 8:52 left in the second here as we will wrap it up on the Doughboys double with Jaylen Brown driving to the hole.
And it's good. 48-37 Celtics on top. Wags.
Oh, the Cavs need a timeout after that one.
What happened? We don't know. The sound is not on. Struce is pulling some bullshit. You can't say that as announcers.
Yeah, you can't editorialize that much.
Yeah,
You'll sound like a homer.
Yeah, but that's Tommy Heinsohn.
Struce fired up.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, but you're doing the national broadcast. You're not doing the Boston broadcast.
Looks like all these boys jacked off before the game. There's not a single boner on the screen.
Mitch is disappointed.
Oh yeah, that should have been a technical foul. Anyways, Wags, that's bullshit.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Wags.
Yeah, we've done an hour. We can do it. We can end the episode. Unfrosted, bad movie. I did not like it. I know you're being coy, and I understand why.
Let me just say, I appreciate our listeners and the support they give us for these Doughboys doubles. Sometimes there's just these episodes where we talk to you like friends, and we're not that invested in what we were talking about, and we even turn on an NBA game, you know, and lose our concentration and barely talk about the subject matter, right, Wags? And so, thank you for dealing with it. I guess. Please don't cancel your subscription.
I don't think that was intentional. What it had was that the foot was planted and kind of dragged against Jaylen Brown as he picked it up. It didn't look like there was menace behind it, but maybe it was just from that angle.
Dear God, let's end the fucking episode.
Hey, that's this week's Doughboys double, and
hey, anyone listening from a college campus, cut the shit.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. Bye.
Bye. Doughboys media.